Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Without Limit. I'm Julia, your host for today. If you're new here, I'm so glad you've joined us. We upload new English learning videos every day. And our goal, to help you improve your English faster with confidence and ease. In today's episode, we're going to do two things: improve your listening skills and boost your speaking confidence. This lesson is all about something simple, but incredibly powerful. Everyday English expressions you can use right away. We're diving into 60 essential English phrases for daily conversation. These are the phrases you'll hear all the time, and more importantly, you'll use them regularly with friends, classmates, coworkers, and even strangers. From greetings and polite requests to expressing your opinion or ending a chat naturally. These phrases will make you sound more fluent and more natural. And don't worry, we'll take it step by step. I'll explain everything clearly and give you examples to help you practice. By the end of this lesson, you won't just understand these phrases. You'll be ready to use them in your everyday conversations without even thinking twice. So, before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode packed with English tips and practice. All right, are you ready? Grab a pen and paper. Let's get started. When we speak English every day, some phrases come up over and over again. They're not difficult or academic, but they're powerful. They help build real connections. They keep conversations flowing naturally. And when you learn these phrases, you become more fluent, more confident, and more engaging. These are the phrases we use to greet someone, ask for help, make small talk, apologize, or just keep things friendly. So today, you'll learn 60 of the most useful daily phrases in English. I'll explain how they work in real-life situations and show you how to use them naturally in your own conversations. As you listen, try to picture these phrases in your own life. And don't worry, we'll include practice examples to help everything stick. Let's begin with greetings and polite conversation starters. When you meet someone in the morning, you can simply say, "Good morning." In casual settings, people say, "Hey, hi," or just "morning." These greetings set a friendly tone. They show respect, and they help start the conversation smoothly. When someone greets you, they often ask, "How are you?" You can reply with, "I'm good, thanks. How about you?" Or, "Doing well, thank you." Simple phrases, but full of warmth and politeness. Here's an example. You see a coworker in the morning and say, "Hi, good morning." They smile and reply, "Morning? How are you today?" You say, "Doing great. Thanks for asking." Just a few words, but you've already created a friendly, easy moment. Next, let's talk about polite requests. When you need help, it's always good to ask kindly. Instead of saying, "Help me," try, "Can you help me?" Or, "Could you give me a hand?" Adding, "Please" makes it even better. "Could you please help me carry this?" Or, "Would you mind giving me a hand?" And when someone helps you, say, "Thank you. Thanks so much." Or, "I really appreciate it." Here's a quick scene. You're carrying a heavy bag. You ask, "Could you please help me with this?" They reply, "Sure, I'd be happy to." You say, "Thank you so much." This is what polite, natural communication looks like. Simple, clear, and kind. Next, let's look at phrases for giving or asking opinions. You can ask, "What do you think?" Or, "Do you agree?" These show you care about the other person's thoughts. They also help the conversation keep going. You can reply with, "That sounds good," "I'm not sure," or "I don't think so." Here's an example. You say, I'm thinking of ordering pizza tonight. What do you think? Your friend replies, That sounds great, but maybe we could try Thai food instead. You say, I'm not sure. I was really craving pizza today. And your friend says, All right, let's go with pizza then. These short phrases help you express your ideas clearly and reach decisions naturally. Let's stop here for now. In the next part, we'll continue with phrases for introductions, offers, clarifications, and more. So stay with me. And don't forget, repetition and practice make these phrases a natural part of how you speak. There are also phrases that help you explain or clarify something. You might say, What I mean is, or let me explain. These help you rephrase your thoughts if the other person seems confused. If someone doesn't understand your point, you can say, Let me explain it another way. Or, Maybe I wasn't clear. What I meant was... For example, in a meeting, if your colleague looks unsure, you might say, Let me explain. What I mean is, we need more time to finish the project properly. These phrases make sure that your message is received clearly and respectfully. When agreeing or giving your opinion, you can use phrases like, I think so too, exactly, or that's true. These are simple ways to show agreement in conversation. If someone says, I believe teamwork is important, you can respond, Exactly, I couldn't agree more. On the other hand, if you disagree, do it politely with phrases like, I see your point, but, or, I'm not sure I agree with that. For example, if someone says, we should cancel the meeting, and you disagree, you might say, I see your point, but I think we should still have it, even if it's shorter. These kinds of balanced responses keep conversations respectful and productive. In casual conversations, we often change topics. When doing this, it's helpful to use natural transitions like, by the way, speaking of that, or that reminds me. These phrases help the conversation flow more smoothly. For instance, if you're talking to a friend about shopping and suddenly remember something, you might say, By the way, did you hear about the sale next week? Or, while talking about food, you could say, That reminds me, I tried that new pizza place you mentioned. These little bridges make your conversation sound more natural and help avoid awkward pauses. Now let's look at more practice through a real-life situation. Imagine this conversation between two friends. One friend says, Guess what? I got promoted today. And the other replies, That's amazing. Congratulations. Tell me more about it. The first friend continues, Well, my manager called me in and said I'm moving to a higher position starting next month. The reply is, Wow, that's such great news. I'm so happy for you. You've worked really hard for this. The first friend smiles and says, Thank you. It feels great to be recognized. Through this short dialogue, we hear several useful daily phrases that express surprise, interest, and happiness. This kind of friendly exchange happens every day in homes, in schools, and at workplaces. Another helpful set of phrases comes when making or changing plans. Phrases like, Let's do that, sounds good, what time works for you, or I'll get back to you. These are commonly used. For example, if you and your friend are planning a weekend trip, you might say, Let's go to the beach this Saturday. Your friend replies, Sounds good. What time should we leave? You respond, How about 9 a.m.? I'll check the weather and get back to you. These phrases help you express agreement, suggest ideas, and adjust plans as needed. Let's try a short paragraph for practice. Imagine this conversation. A friend says, "Are you free this evening?" And you reply, "Yes, I think so." "Why?" They say, "I was thinking we could go see a movie." You respond, "Sounds great." "What time does it start?" Your friend checks their phone and says, "At 7:30. Want to meet at 7? You agree, saying, "Perfect. See you then." This entire exchange is full of phrases that are very common in daily life. They help you manage plans smoothly and clearly. Sometimes we want to check someone's opinion or confirm something. You might hear phrases like, "Is that okay with you?" or "Do you mind if?" These are polite ways to make sure someone is comfortable with what you're suggesting. For example, you could say, "Do you mind if I open the window?" Or, "Is it okay if we change the meeting to tomorrow?" These questions are small, but they show respect for the other person's preferences. A simple response like, "Sure, no problem," or "I'm okay with that," keeps things friendly. Let's imagine another everyday scene for more practice. You're in a classroom, and you turn to your classmate and ask, "Do you mind if I borrow your notes?" They smile and reply, "Sure, no problem. I'll send them to you later." You say, "Thanks a lot, I appreciate it." Your classmate nods and says, "Anytime." Again, we see how natural these phrases sound in daily conversation. When offering help to someone, you might say, "Do you need a hand?" or "Can I help you with that?" These are thoughtful phrases that show kindness, and if you're the one receiving help, replying with, "That would be great, thanks," or "Yes, please, I'd appreciate it," is always nice. These small exchanges can happen anytime, at work, at home, or even on the street. For instance, if you see someone carrying something heavy, you might say, "Do you need a hand with that?" And they could reply, "Yes, please." That's very kind of you. These small acts of communication build trust and friendliness. Another useful area of daily English conversation is making suggestions. Phrases like, "How about?" "Why don't we?" or "Maybe we could." These help offer ideas in a soft and friendly way. Imagine you and a colleague are discussing what to do after work. You might say, "How about grabbing some coffee before heading home?" Or, "Why don't we take a walk in the park?" These phrases open the door for others to respond without sounding forceful. They invite collaboration and make others feel included in the decision-making process. In casual conversation, expressing preferences is also very common. You may want to use phrases like, "I'd rather," "I prefer," or "I'm more into." These help you share your likes and dislikes in a polite way. For instance, someone might say, "Do you want to watch a movie or go out for dinner?" And you could respond, "I'd rather go out for dinner. I've been sitting all day." Or if someone says, "Do you like reading novels?" You might answer, "I prefer documentaries, but novels are good too." These expressions make conversations more personal and authentic. They reflect your unique opinions and interests. Let's look at a short conversation example to understand this better. A friend asks, "Do you feel like ordering pizza tonight?" And you respond, "Actually, I'd rather cook something at home." They say, "All right, that works. What do you want to make?" And you reply, "Maybe pasta. I'm more into light food these days." Through this short dialogue, you can see how expressing preference helps guide the conversation in a relaxed and respectful way. Another group of useful phrases comes when you want to ask for permission. Common ways to do this include, "Can I?" "Is it okay if?" "Would you mind if?" These phrases are used in schools, at work, or at home. For example, Can I leave a little early today? Is it okay if I use your phone for a second? These requests sound polite and are usually followed by a short response like, sure, no problem, or go ahead. Being able to ask for permission the right way is essential in many situations. Let's practice this in a real-life setting. You're in a library and you want to ask the librarian for a pen. You say, "Excuse me, would you mind if I borrow a pen for a minute?" The librarian replies, "Not at all. Here you go." You respond with, "Thank you so much. I'll return it right away." The librarian smiles and says, "No hurry." This kind of polite and thoughtful exchange helps you build trust and maintain good relationships. In friendly conversations, giving compliments also plays an important role. You might say things like, "You look great, I like your outfit," or "That's a smart idea." Compliments help lift people's moods and create a positive atmosphere. If someone says, "I just finished decorating my room," you could say, "That sounds lovely. I bet it looks amazing." And if someone gets a haircut, you could say, "Wow, your new haircut really suits you." A small compliment can go a long way in making someone feel appreciated. Of course, responding to compliments politely is also important. If someone says, "You did a great job," you can reply, "Thank you. That means a lot," or "I appreciate that." These responses help continue the conversation while acknowledging the compliment. They also show humility and gratitude, both of which are valued in social settings. Now let's imagine another short scenario. Your coworker says, "Your presentation was really clear and professional." You smile and say, "Thanks so much. I was nervous, but I'm glad it went well." Your coworker nods and adds, "You should do more of these." You respond, "I'd love to. I'm learning more with each one." In this scene, the use of compliments and polite responses creates a comfortable and encouraging work environment. There are also moments in daily life when we want to express surprise or disbelief. Phrases like, "You're kidding," "No way," or "Seriously" help you show your emotions and make conversations more dynamic. For example, if a friend says, "I just ran into our old teacher at the airport," you might respond with, "No way, that's so random." Or if someone says, "I'm moving to another country next week," you could say, "Seriously? That's such big news." These phrases add energy to your conversations and make them more engaging. Now let's talk about expressing gratitude. Beyond just saying thank you, you can say, "Thanks a ton," "I really appreciate it," or "That's very kind of you." These show that you truly value what someone has done for you. Let's imagine you were sick and your neighbor brought you some soup. You might say, "Thanks a ton. That was very kind of you. I really appreciate it." Using richer expressions of gratitude helps build deeper social bonds. And when someone thanks you, how can you reply? Phrases like, "You're welcome," "Anytime," or "It's my pleasure" help keep the tone warm and friendly. Let's practice. A classmate helps you with your homework. You say, "Thanks so much. I really needed that help." They smile and reply, "You're welcome. Anytime." These short, kind phrases help both people feel good about the exchange. In conversations, it's also common to show concern or check on someone's well-being. You can use phrases like, "Are you okay?" "Is everything all right?" or "Do you want to talk about it?" These show empathy and support. Imagine your friend looks upset. You might ask, "You seem a bit down. Are you okay?" If they say, "I've had a rough day," you can respond, "I'm here if you want to talk about it." These gentle, caring expressions can mean a lot to someone going through a hard time. When someone shares something personal, it's important to respond with care. You might say, "Thanks for telling me," or "That must have been really difficult for you." Let's say a coworker shares a story about losing a loved one. You might say, "I'm really sorry to hear that. That must have been incredibly hard." Being able to speak kindly in difficult moments is a sign of strong communication skills. Let's do a short example. Your friend seems quiet and you ask, "Everything okay?" They reply, "Not really." "I didn't sleep well last night." You respond, "I'm sorry to hear that. Want to grab a coffee and talk?" They nod and say, "That would be nice. Thanks." This simple moment shows how empathy and friendly words can help others feel supported. Now, let's talk about encouraging others. Phrases like, "You can do it," "Don't give up," and "I believe in you" are powerful motivators. If your friend is nervous about giving a speech, you might say, "You're going to do great. Just be yourself." And if they say, "I'm so nervous," you can add, "That's normal. You've practiced a lot. You'll be fine." Encouraging phrases help others build confidence, even when things feel hard. Let's practice one more scene. Your sibling says, "I'm worried I won't pass my exam." You smile and say, "You've studied hard. You can do this." They reply, "I hope so." And you add, "Just stay focused. You've got this." These everyday phrases offer emotional support and help build strong relationships. Next, let's talk about shopping. Whether you're buying groceries, clothes, or gifts, it's useful to know phrases like, "How much is this?" "Do you have this in a different size?" Or, "Can I try this on?" For example, you're in a clothing store and see a shirt you like. You ask, "How much is this shirt?" The assistant says, "It's $25. If it doesn't fit quite right, you say, "Do you have this in medium?" These simple exchanges build your confidence in using English in real life. At the checkout, you might hear or say, "Would you like a bag?" "Do you want to pay by card or cash?" "Can I get a receipt, please?" And you can respond with, "Yes, please," or "No, thank you." Let's imagine you're at the grocery store. The cashier asks, "Would you like a bag?" You say, "Yes, please." Then they say, "That'll be $18.50. You hand them your card and say, "I'll pay by card, thanks." After the transaction, you ask, "Can I get a receipt, please?" These lines help you complete everyday tasks smoothly. Let's try a quick role play. You walk into a store and say, "Hi, do you have this jacket in large?" The clerk replies, "Let me check." "Yes, we do. Would you like to try it on?" You say, "Yes, please." After trying it on, you say, "I'll take it. How much is it?" They reply, $40. You say, "Can I pay by card?" The clerk answers, "Of course." And you finish with, "Can I get a receipt, please?" They reply, "Sure, here you go." This quick interaction shows how useful these phrases are in real-life shopping situations. Let's continue in the next segment with directions, polite offers of help, and making plans. I'm Julia, and you're listening to English Without Limit. Stick with me. We're just getting warmed up. Let's say someone accidentally bumps into you. They say, "I'm so sorry." And you reply, "It's okay. No harm done." Or maybe a coworker forgets to send you a file. They say, "Sorry, I forgot to email you the report." And you respond, "That's all right. Just send it when you get a chance." These exchanges show that you're understanding and calm, which is always appreciated in daily communication. Let's practice with another scene. You're late meeting a friend and say, "I'm so sorry I kept you waiting." Your friend smiles and says, "It's fine, I just got here too." You add, "Thanks for being patient." And they reply, "Of course, let's go grab a bite." Apologizing and moving forward with kindness keeps conversations healthy and relaxed. Now, let's talk about expressing feelings and opinions in conversations. Being able to share how you feel or what you think is essential in daily interactions. You might use phrases like, "I feel tired today." "I'm so happy to hear that." "In my opinion, it's a good idea." These expressions help others understand your mood or point of view. For example, if a friend tells you they got a new job, you can say, "Wow, I'm so happy for you." Or if you're feeling a bit down, you can say, "I'm just feeling a little off today." These small but clear expressions build strong communication. You can also express agreement and disagreement politely. If you agree, say things like, "I think so too." Exactly. You're right. But if you disagree, it's important to do it respectfully. You can say, "I see your point, but I think differently." "I'm not sure I agree with that." Let's say you and your friend are discussing where to go for dinner. Your friend says, "Let's get pizza." You can say, "Good idea," or "Sounds great." But if you prefer something else, you might say, "Actually, I feel like trying something different." How about sushi? These exchanges show you're engaged and respectful of others' opinions. Here's a quick practice story. You're chatting with a colleague about weekend plans. They say, "I think going hiking would be fun." You say, "I think so too. It's a great way to relax." Then they add, "But I'm not sure about the weather." You reply, "Yeah, you're right. Maybe we should check the forecast first." These types of exchanges help you connect and keep the conversation natural and thoughtful. Another common conversation topic is health and well-being. When you're not feeling well, it's helpful to use phrases like, "I'm not feeling great." "I think I caught a cold." "I need to rest today." If someone asks how you are and you're not doing your best, you can reply, "I've been better." "Just feeling a bit under the weather." And if someone tells you they're not feeling well, you can say, "I hope you feel better soon." Take care of yourself. Let's imagine you meet a friend at the cafe and ask, "How are you?" They reply, "I'm not feeling too well today. I think I've got a cold." You say, "Oh no, I hope you feel better soon. Make sure to get some rest." These kinds of phrases make conversations more personal and caring. Even simple words of kindness can leave a big impact. Let's do another short exercise. You're at work and notice your coworker looks tired. You ask, "Are you okay?" They say, "Just a bit tired. Didn't sleep well." You respond, "Hope you get a better night's sleep tonight." This simple exchange builds empathy and shows that you care, even in short conversations. Sometimes daily conversations involve talking about routines and habits. You might say, "I usually wake up at 7. I go to the gym after work. I cook dinner every night." These types of sentences help you share your lifestyle and connect with others who might have similar routines. For example, when someone asks, "What do you do after work?" you can reply, "I usually go for a walk or relax with a book." These details help people understand you better and make conversation flow naturally. You can also ask others about their routines with questions like, "What time do you usually wake up?" "Do you work out regularly?" "What do you do on weekends?" These questions keep the conversation going and show interest in the other person's life. Imagine you're at a lunch table and say, "I try to work out every morning." A friend replies, "Really? That's impressive. I usually exercise at night. Then you say, yeah, mornings work better for me. It wakes me up. It's small talk, but it helps build friendships and improve fluency. Here's a routine-based practice example. You're chatting with a classmate who asks, what's your usual weekday like? You say, I wake up at 7, have a quick breakfast, and then head to work. After work, I usually go for a jog and cook dinner. Your classmate replies, that sounds like a healthy routine. I wish I had more time to cook. You say, it's not easy, but I try to plan ahead. These types of everyday exchanges are great for practicing past and present tense naturally. Now, let's shift to talking about the weather, which is one of the most common conversation topics worldwide. Phrases like, it's a beautiful day. It's really hot today. Looks like it's going to rain. These are often used when starting small talk. If you see a neighbor, you can say, what a lovely day. And they might reply, yes, finally some sunshine after all that rain. Talking about the weather is a safe and easy way to start conversations with anyone, anywhere. For example, at a bus stop you might say, it's freezing today, isn't it? And someone could respond, yes, I should have worn another jacket. It's not a deep topic, but it helps you build confidence and break the silence. You can also ask, do you know if it's going to rain later? Did you hear about the storm coming? These are normal and friendly ways to connect with people. Let's practice a weather conversation. You walk into the office and say, it's so windy outside today. A coworker replies, I know. I almost lost my umbrella. You both laugh and you say, hopefully it'll calm down by the evening. That short exchange makes the atmosphere friendly and relaxed. Finally, it's helpful to know some phrases for ending conversations politely. You can say, it was nice talking to you. I've got to go now. Let's catch up later. These phrases show good manners and allow you to exit conversations naturally. For example, if you've been chatting with a friend for a while and need to leave, you might say, anyway, I've got to run, but it was great talking to you. They'll likely say, you too. Let's talk again soon. It's respectful and keeps things positive. Let's do a final short practice. You're on a phone call with a family member. After talking for a bit, you say, all right, I should get going now. They reply, okay, talk to you later. You say, take care, and they respond, you too. These smooth and gentle phrases make endings feel just as comfortable as the start. In this lesson, we've explored more than 60 useful English phrases for everyday conversation. These phrases can be used in real-life situations like greetings, shopping, asking for help, giving directions, making plans, apologizing, and so much more. We also practiced how to respond politely, share feelings, and talk about habits, weather, and routines. By using these phrases and practicing them regularly, your spoken English will become more fluent, confident, and natural. Now it's your turn to practice. Pick any 5 phrases from today's video and try using them in your next conversation. Repeat them out loud, write them down, and use them in different situations throughout your day. The more you use them, the more they will become part of your natural speaking style. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Julia from English Without Limit. I hope you enjoyed learning these daily phrases and that you feel more prepared to use them in your own conversations. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to check out more videos on our channel where we cover different topics every day to support your English learning journey. Keep practicing, keep improving, And remember, your progress matters. See you next time.